Check, check. Hello, hello. Check, check. Think we're good. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. If you're watching this later on YouTube, we do this every 2 weeks, every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Or we just hang out, answer questions, see how we can help. But thanks for tuning in. We'll give it a few minutes to let people join in live here. Send out a few notifications and hope everyone's doing awesome today. Let me grab this link. Hey, how's it going? I like to learn. Hey, that's the way to be. I like to learn too. All right, got this link here. 70 plus people this time. It gets bigger every time. Nice. Let's see. That's Discord. We'll make a tweet real fast. While we wait for people to join in. All right. I think that's the right link. Believe so. All right. And we're good. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you're doing fantastic. There we go. I'm doing copy paste. Hey, I think that's what most developers do too. I definitely copy and paste quite a bit. Hey, Captain Morgan. Good to see you too. Hello, hello. Hope you're all doing awesome today. Happy Tuesday. Just getting everything set up here. Nice. All right. I think I'm good. Derek, I'm going to build you a distribution bot. Hey, that makes a lot of sense. Where I could just press one button and send that out every 2 weeks. That's a good idea, actually. A very good idea. But yeah, welcome, welcome. I see more people joining in. So welcome to our Q&A. If this is your first time here, we just kind of hang out, answer questions, talk about anything you want to, see if we can help you. Captain Morgan, teach. I'm a copy and paste master. You teach me. Professional copy and paster. I'm becoming great with WaveScript. Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. That's good to hear. We got some changes coming up. So there'll be a little bit more to learn. But just always trying to improve. Trying to make the platform better. I'm a click and drag developer. I've been using blocks to code. Hey, whatever does the job. You know, speed is very important. So whatever tool you need to get it done and it's efficient, I think that's the best one. Welcome to everyone. Well, I'll give it a few minutes to let people join in. So yeah, we'll just hang out, answer questions. I know staff will be in chat, so if there's anything that I can't help with, I'm sure they will be able to. I use Wine Window while copying and pasting. Not too sure. I haven't heard of that. Yeah, lots of cool changes. Let me pull up the change log here. And we'll go through it. Let's see. What is today? The 9th? So I may not have a new one. 24th? Oh, this is pretty new. I guess we didn't deploy last week. Yeah, more optimizations. Yeah, we'll have some cool new change logs coming up here soon. We got manual refresh, stage 1. I'm about to deploy, so we're kind of excited about that. How you learn how long have I been coding? I guess since my junior year of college. So how long ago was that? 4 years? 4 years? So not the longest. There's definitely people on staff that have been coding for forever. But I know a little bit. I hope they don't mind me sharing a resource, but I use Blockly to get started and copy it. Wastegroup. Yeah. No, we don't care. I don't care one bit. We're very laid back. But no, it's good. It's good to share resources. And give it a few more minutes and let people join in. But to everyone joining in, welcome to the Q&A. Just hanging out, answering questions, taking any feedback about the website, anything that we can work on, any improvements that you see that we could do. Also answering any questions about your scripts, maybe coding questions, and then anything else, whatever you want to ask. Let me move my camera here so I can see more chat. I'm going to be a senior in high school, so I like to learn. Oh, you're starting early. Yeah, coding is a lot of fun. I think it's very easy to get kind of bogged down in the beginning, but once you start seeing all the power that you get with coding, it's kind of empowering almost, knowing that you can sit down behind a computer and build whatever you want. And pretty cool. All right. 4:06, I think we can get started here. Welcome to anyone joining in. So we'll just go through a brief demonstration of a few different use cases to get us started. So let's say that we want to automate some code that we've written up on our local machine using Wastegroup. We can choose the code that we have and import the module. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. So let's say, in my case, I'm a Python developer, and I've got some code typed up on my local machine that I need a way of executing and maybe sharing with the team. What I can do is I can import and pull in a Python module into a workflow. What this does is give me access to an editor where I can type out, sorry, I've got two of these. Let me go ahead and delete this one for simplicity's sake. So I can type in my code in this Python module and get it to do anything that I could on my local machine. Whether that's running this code just straight up like how we have here. So we'll execute this. And we get back this variable that we're creating in our code that we can use throughout the rest of our workflow. We can also do more dynamic interactions. We see here that all of these are just files on my account. So I can create and use files using code modules or any of the other modules that we've already built. There's quite a few. I need to keep on scrolling. Cool. So let's say, let me make sure I'm not behind on chat. Yeah, you can share it on Facebook. We'd appreciate it. So let's say that we'll go and find some code. Python, where is it? Here we go. Python in the cloud. Let me zoom in. So let's say I have some password generator that I want to execute in the cloud. I can do that by either inserting that file by clicking this button here and choosing it from my file manager, or I can just do like how I did and copy and paste it. Cool things to note here is that I actually need third-party libraries. Well, actually, these are Python native, I believe. But if I did need third-party libraries, I can import them just like how I can here, and then do whatever interaction I want and execute it. So in our password generator, we created this password and we're assigning it to a variable that we can use later on in our flow. So let's say that we wanted to build some type of bot that ran this every day. We can pull in a time trigger, turning it on. And then let's say with this password, we wanted to send ourselves an email of it. We can set that up in just a few seconds and have a fully functioning bot that does this interaction that automatically runs our Python code and sends us a new password every day. This is just a little example, and there's definitely a lot more complex ones that we can go and take a look at. Where you can build almost anything on WaveScript. So I've got a bunch here that don't look too nice, but in our marketplace, you can see fully created scripts that you can just clone to your own account and use. We also have a community of other developers building these out daily, so you can find cool things in our community tab in our marketplace. I'm waiting on this one to be number one. This stock volume screener. Maybe it'll get there. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff. So that's just a basic demonstration of some of the cool stuff you can do. There's plenty more that I won't dive too in depth with, but we have teams where two people can work on the same team and work on the same applications together. Awesome. Jumping back into this one. So that's a little demo. If you've never seen WaveScript before, or if you're watching this later on the YouTube video, but pretty powerful tool once you get it figured out. All right, let's see. So I like to learn how early you start. I'm proud to hear you say this. We're 20 years apart, you and I started heavily this year. Can I share this on Facebook? I need some quick help. I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, sure. However I can help. Happy to see if I can. I'm pulling up. I don't know if I'm allowed to. I probably shouldn't. I was going to give a sneak peek at a manual refresh, but I don't know if I should or not. Let's see. I need this lowercase. Big title, join string, random integer. I wonder if I can copy this. The formatting probably won't be perfect, but it might be a little bit easier to read. Yeah, let's see what's going on. Oh, so this lowercase isn't working? Yeah, I think there's a method. If this is a string, which I believe it is. Well, I don't know. You got a blank string, lowercase. So this method right here isn't working for you? I think there's a method called lower that can lowercase it for you. Let me pull it up. Yeah, so this might be what you're trying to use. There's upper and then there's lower. So this converts. Yeah, let's see if we can try it. You might just do it in WaveScript. It'd be a little bit faster. Yeah. So this lower method may do what you're asking. I hope that displayed right. No, I think I got it though. Don't know what to watch WaveScript. Thanks, I think. Big title equals cool network random number. Core title equals big title lowercase. Slugify equals. Yeah, and Jeff says lower. Yeah. Yeah, I think that is the trick. And change this up. Show us hacking. I don't know how to do any of that. I'm not the right one to show it. Well, you shouldn't be doing that anyways, I guess. Unless you're doing like ethical hacking. But there's a lot of money in ethical hacking too. I know companies put out big rewards if you can get into their systems and let them know. Let me refresh. There we go. Only if you're doing a business. Yeah, you can do bug bounties. Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about. Uh, I don't know. I've never participated in one. I wouldn't even know how to begin, to be honest. I took one like ethical hacking course or something on Udemy one time, but I just never got too into it. How to be ethical hacking, is it in it? I'm not sure the question, but yeah, the field does exist, which I guess both fields, non-ethical hacking does exist too, but not professionally. Well, I guess I don't know. I guess like both. I guess you can be a professional, but it's probably not condoned by very many people. Ethical hacking is about helping businesses find flaws in their system, and if you tell them about it, they will reward you with some sort of pay, depending on how big the flaw was. Yeah, yeah. People make a lot of money. Uh, yeah, I think you nailed it. Like if it's some huge issue, they do tend to pay out a bunch. I remember watching a documentary about someone that was doing it. He was like a superstar kind of ethical hacking, and he made all kinds of money. But Wastegript is probably not the platform for that type of stuff. But my brain is poor to be IT student. Oh no, everything is scary at first, right? Like you don't know how like it is most of the time you click into something like Python and it will look like a different language, right? Because it kind of is a language, a programming language anyways. So it is kind of scary, but it's nothing you couldn't figure out. It just takes time, just like anything else. It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of practice, but it's well worth it. You can also do a lot of coding challenges. Yeah, there's a bunch of good ones. Uh, what is it? Let me pull. Yeah, I actually don't know a good one. I used to know a few, but I found myself doing too many code challenges and not enough projects, so I kind of stopped. Let's see. Let's build something out here. Um, let's create a new script. We'll do a Selenium tutorial. I'll pull up some code. I don't know why this is fresh in my mind. Let's see. Grab a code snippet. I forget where they are in the docs. Let's see. We'll just go grab it from the marketplace. It's a course my mom picked and I like too. Oh, good. Kaggle has a lot of them. Yeah. Yeah, Kaggle's got a bunch. Especially if you're interested in like machine learning and AI and all the really fancy stuff. That's a great resource. Derek, I have an idea for you to show us. Sure. Okay, great. That works too. Oh, sorry. Sorry I didn't get your. Yeah, if you got an idea, I'd happily go through something. Hey, Derek, do you create engine games before? I played around in Unity a little bit, but I don't know enough to give advice or a tutorial on it for sure. Yeah, just a little bit. But I kind of play around with animations and stuff. So I used to be interested in games a little bit, but never pursued it. It'd be cool to build one though. I would like to see you make a membership site. Ooh. Hmm. Let's see. So I think this will become easier in the near future because I believe how I'm thinking about doing it right now uses a feature that's not available to everyone. Well, let's see. Let's see how we can do it. So, if we have memberships, we definitely need a DB. I think this one works. So let's say we need the website for the membership. We need a response, and then we need some type of content in that response. So we'll just make let me pull in some HTML. Yeah, the feature I was thinking about is the ability to know what user hits your endpoint. That way, how this will go right now, I think the best way to do it is if we query this database and the user has permission, then we can serve them an HTML file and the response. But if they don't, then I guess we could create a second HTML and a second response depending on that permission. So let's pull in a little bit of HTML. Well, we can just type something. Let's say something like editing this second one. All right. A lot of text on my screen. Let me see if I can get some of it off. All right, there we go. So the second one will say something like paragraph permission denied. And then for this one, I guess we can just leave the default, or we can say something like, welcome to the site. Get rid of this image. All right, cool. So what we'll do is we'll create a condition. So we'll say something like, I'm just using this as dummy data pretty much. We'll say something like false. So what I'll do is I'll put this in a DB But for the moment, we'll use this false. And then if false, well, no, if true, so if the user does have permission, then we'll proceed down this side of our if tree. We'll create that trigger. And let's open this up. So in this example, we're just mocking some data here, and we're saying that the user doesn't have permission. So we should get back this web page. Oh, sorry, we won't get back anything yet. We'll pull in an HTML code so we get that back in the response content of each of these. And now, when we go to that URL, we should get back this page. There we go. Try that again. Oh, need the pill. I haven't played with the conditionals enough. Sorry about that. All right, let's try this again. Permission denied. So that's kind of the basis of how I would do it. We can get into the DB too, if you want to. Yeah, no questions. So we'll dive into the DB. So pull in some code here. Database examples. Don't need that. Yeah, we'll create a table. That's awesome. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, so I'd imagine you create a form page first. Yeah, so the way that I would do it right now is you definitely do need a form, right? You need some way for the user to sign up so they can change the DB entry. So let's say you created some web page over here. And whenever the user submits this web page with the appropriate information, you could just do some helper function over here where it writes to SQL and updates an entry for them. So it's a little more complex, I believe, than what it should be for this specific example. Because if we knew the user that logged in, or if we got past that, then we could do that a little bit easier, I guess to say. Yeah, means to log in and has to verify. Yeah, exactly. Which I guess you could pass it between pages. It's definitely not the cleanest implementation, but I believe you can do it. There's probably a cleaner way that I'm not thinking of right now, but I think this would work. It's unfortunate that you would have to query the database on each trigger to see if the user had permission for that page. But I guess that's what happens anyways on a normal website. No, I guess the check only happens once because you're logged in. You need a logged in view. I might have to think on that one. Logged in view. Yeah, we do have the ability right now to password protect a website, but that's not really the same thing as a login. But it would be cool. It would be cool if you could do it. Right, you have to check to first see if you belong. Yeah. And unfortunately kick you out if you don't belong. The sad flip side of it. Wasescript is really helpful, man. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks so much for your kind words. Yeah, we're trying to build something that is super helpful and change how people develop applications, make it speedy. I mean, ID and password in the DB. Yeah. And then you have to have the means to sign up. Yeah. Yeah, we can make a sign up form. I think pretty easy. A little bit of code. I got too many functions. There we go. Say sign up. And we'll do, I'm pulling some code. My Achilles heel is front end HTML. I should be so much better at making things look nice, but it takes me a long time to make things look nice. Yeah, there we go. Web interfaces, form pass values. So I'll take this, and this GitHub repository is public, so if you want the same code, it's in there. I think it's linked in the description. If not, just let me know. So we'll copy this. So let's see, what do we need for our form? We got first name, last name. Yeah, that should be good. We'll keep it simple. So on this form, it has the action of page 2, so we need to create that. So page 2. We'll make an HTTP trigger. This will have query params. Which isn't a good way to submit a password. That's a problem. First name, last name. So those values come from this form that we're creating here. We can view it. Let me turn it on and we'll pull it up. So in the HTTP response, we'll pull in that code. And now we should have this form hosted at this endpoint. So open it. And I am way zoomed in, so so I apologize for how large this is. But so this is our little sign up form. Oh wait, no, we're password protected. That's the default one. Are we password protected? Or is that my form? No, we are. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, see, we have very talented front end developers, and their form looks way better than my form. But I'm trying. HTML's hard. So here's our form that we just created, and we can pass those values. If it's not a password, then it's okay to pass them in the query params. There's a better way to write a password. I just have to figure it out. So in our HTTP trigger, we got page 2, which was the form action. So whenever the user submits this one, they'll get sent over to this function. And what we can do is use those values. I'll refresh this. And there we go. And then we can do something like SQL. And we can have these values down here and write them into our DB. So I don't have a DB set up just yet. But we'll open this up and, oh no, let me go back. So open this up. And I think I have some code for this too. I guess it's not anything other than insert. Yeah, that's all we need. We'll say something like insert into table name. First name, last name, values, and then we can just pull in these pills. So first name, and then last name. I think my computer's struggling. I hear it taking off. Or refresh. Ah, there we go. I think it placed it. Maybe it'll save. Refreshing this. Let's see if it's in there. Ah, so close. Last name. There we go. So now we can go to this form, and I don't have this table set up, so I won't actually write it, but this is how you would set it up. So now we could submit this form, and we should get those. See, okay, we're not returning any content, so that's why we get that 404. But now over here, once these refresh, they should have, first name, last name. Let's see what's going on. First name, last name, submit. Should have those values. Maybe you just won't do it if it errors out. So response, we'll just say hello. That way we don't get the error. I'm struggling. You can start typing it and it will give you a drop down. What part? Start typing it and it will give you a drop down. Oh, the variable name. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a nice feature. That autocomplete. Let me just create a little variable here. Sample text, and we'll pull in sample text. All right, now let's try this again. So we should not get back an error. We get that form 404. Oh, my SQL step isn't working. So we'll just disable that. Let's try it again. Oh, I need an underscore. The joys of coding, being off by one character and it breaking. There we go. I think we should be good now. So the reason why I wasn't returning anything is I probably should have read this better, but my endpoint wasn't correctly set up over here. My form action in the HTML was page underscore 2, and this one was page 2 without the underscore. So that's why we were having issues. I think we might still have them. I might be speaking too soon. All right, let's pull this up. All right, submitting our form. We should get back that sample text from that create var. And we got those variables, hopefully, over here. We should be able to see them when we click a step. Yep, and we got them. So here we could have just included this SQL step. I don't have a table set up. I need a table set up for the next live stream. I'll be ready for that. Set up table. But we could have just written those to our SQL table in this step. When you want the pill. Oh yeah, for the variable. This is exactly like my workday. I love it. Hey, the joys of being wrong. It only has to work one time though. You can be wrong 100 times, but if it works once, then that's all you have to do. You just gotta make it work. One of the upsides of coding. Get to be wrong as much as you want. I guess other careers, it's a big deal if you're wrong just once. I studied chemical engineering. If you're wrong in that once, it's catastrophic. But yeah, so that was an example passing values from a form to another function where we can use those values however we want. So if we wanted to give me something like basic permissions for a website, what we could do is go in that SQL step. Actually, we'll create a variable first. And we could say something like a default, every user doesn't have access to the website. So we could say something like access equals false. And then we could just pull that in to our SQL step. So something like access level. And then we'll just give that default of access. There we go. So that's how I would approach it at first. There's probably a cleaner implementation on how to do this. And we could probably make it easier because I do imagine that sites, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how a business would do it. I guess most businesses would probably just give the credentials But then you would want to rotate them. Yeah, that's something we probably need to think on at some point. Is how it actually works. I know it's on the roadmap at some point of like how different users can access your applications. Let's see. Let me catch up. Hey, my lowercase lower. Who knew? Can I access Firebase using WaveScript? Yeah, they have a public API. Um, I believe they do. I think I've looked at it. Yeah, you can do it. So let's say real-time database, API usage. Yeah, it looks like you can do it. You would just call their endpoints and do whatever you want to do. So let's say you wanted to read data from, it looks like your database. Where's their URL? Oh, I guess this is their URL. So I have it highlighted and I'm looking for it and I have it highlighted. Yeah, let's do it real quick. And this would be a good module to build into. Access Firebase API. So I don't have a database here with Firebase, but I'll walk through a little bit of what I can do. Maybe they have a sample database that we can use. But it'd take me a minute to find it. So whatever programming language that you would want to use, it looks like they have a JavaScript kit that you could use. iOS, that's cool. That's neat. I'll just use the REST API and I'll do that using Python. So if I wanted to, it looks like get reading data from a database, I can just send a GET request to this URL. So I'll copy that and in my Python step, I'll import a library that lets me do that. And then I'll say something like requests.get, and then I could pass in that URL. So we don't need that curl. Nice. I wish I could close the log. Or make this, let me zoom out. And then I'll zoom in on this. So I don't have a project ID, so I can't actually show you what the response would be. But let's say I do get that response and I want to view it. So my data could be something like response.json. And then if I wanted to print it, that way I could see it in the terminal or in the log, then I can print that data. And then if I wanted to access some of that information, so let's say accessed info, I could just do data and then whatever key that you wanted to get from the response content. But yeah, you could just interact with their public API like that. That might be a cool one for us to add in. Let me do some research on it, because I'm not all that familiar with Firebase, but it seems like it would be something that I should know for the content that's coming up for me. So I might check it out and see if I can add it in. But yeah, so anything with the public API, sorry to make that a long answer, but anything with the public API, you can just use code and interact with it in that way. Let's see. Sorry, I got lost in chat. Can I use Firebase? Can I access Firebase using LaceScript? Firebase is a database. Yes, sir. I want to pull up some images using Firebase and want to access it via JavaScript on an HTML page. Ooh, that's cool. I'm about to die. I love the idea of Firebase. Now my brain is thinking. One would think Firebase has a sandbox. Yeah. Thanks, man. I wanted to ease up on the addition of image files by just dropping them to Firebase and altering the images accordingly. Yeah, so that's a cool use case. What I'm thinking about in my head is how you would pull an image in. I guess it would work the same way. So we do have an image. No, I'm not sure if we have image type anymore. So, I'm not sure how you would do it at the moment because you probably have to download it to your account. I guess you can pass it if it's a URL of the image, but if you got the bytes of the image, I guess you could convert it back in the web page. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So if you got the response of an image, then you could just pass that on as a variable to your HTML page. I think would be fine. I think what the problem was that I was thinking about was there's not a way if there's an image on your account to programmatically make it public. So like other users who view your web page can see it. I might have to play with that, see what the best way to do it is. But if it's just in the response and you convert it to an image within the code, like you download it as a bytes type and then convert it, and then I think it should be fine. You mean changing image names or exit data? Just like dragging and dropping images to Firebase and they automatically get added to the page as well. Yeah. Yeah, I think you could do it. Let's see, how would I structure it? So let's say I wanted my web page. Let's refresh this. Sorry, I think my computer is being slow. There we go. Nice. We'll copy this code. And copy that. So let's say, so you want a web page that gets images. I'll get those images using Python, but this will probably be JavaScript for you if that's how you're going to do it. But I am not the best JavaScript developer, unfortunately. So we'll use this code, and then, so I assume how their API would work if you're pulling images from their DB with this get request here, then that means you're going to have a struct, you're going to have a dictionary with a bunch of, no, you're going to have a dictionary probably, I wonder if they have outputs. Do they have responses? Expected responses. Here we go. Get of 200 data at path. Oh, well, that's not helpful. Huh. That's, I guess they're very dynamic as well. They can't put more. I guess it depends on the data that you have in there. But this doesn't seem like the most helpful table. If you send a GET request, you get a 200 and the data at that URL. So we'll guess that the data looks something like a dictionary with a list inside of it of all the, I guess that makes sense. If you query a DB, you would expect a dictionary with list values. So it might be something like data um, whatever key. So images, and that might give you back a list. And then you might want something like every image to the end. So that would pull every image. And then, that gets kind of sticky because then you would need the HTML code to put every image in. So then you could say something like, so in images, this would hopefully be a list value. So then you could say something like for image in images, and then your string will declare, we'll create a string HTML string. We'll say something like HTML string equals HTML string plus, and then I would just image, and then that variable that you pass on would be HTML string. So hopefully that makes sense. The response in my mind would have all the images that you would want, and then you could take those images, create the HTML code from them, or that includes them, and then pass all that HTML on as a variable. So then you could use that in an HTTP response. So I can't run this to actually get that variable because I don't have a Firebase DB to actually get the response. But once you would run this, then I believe it might be something close to it. I don't know the structure of the response, but hopefully this is helpful. I can share this just in case it is. But I'm happy to help too if you get stuck on something diving into it. I'll probably look at the docs of Firebase as well, because that would be a fun one to play with, I think. All right, sorry. Let me catch up. Uh, that's clever. You think Firebase would store it? I mean, it is meant for the same, right? The aim is to access those images without having to store those images anywhere else. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you're correct. And also so that instead of writing the image tags for each picture, I just add it by dropping the image onto Firebase. Put response. I don't have much experience in REST, unfortunately. Exactly, Derek. The aim is to prevent writing the image tag for every image file. Yeah, that would be painful, wouldn't it? Rather keep them kind of a stretchable array. Thanks for the help. We'll try to run the same and check if it works for me. Yeah, and if you get stuck, we're happy to help. That sounds like a fun one. There's probably an easy win for us in this Firebase API. We probably want to do more than just get data from a database. But this doesn't look hard to implement, really. User management. Yeah, it's just token authentication. Yeah, this isn't a hard one to implement, I don't think. But that would be cool, wouldn't it? Get information from a Firebase database and I don't know what the good use case to pitch this one would be. Display to a web page. I want to play with more Google stuff on WaveScript. Yeah, Google's a tough one. Google is a painful. From the module building side, anyways. The modules on the side are awesome. It's just been a lot of heartache almost to make sure that they remain in the library. Yeah, I don't know how much Google stuff we have. I guess we have Sheets. I wonder if we've tagged them all. Oh, we got quite a few. Google Assistant, Calendar, Gmail. Yeah, I think it'd be cool to. It's 3:30 here. Else would have definitely stayed, man. I've been following VoiceScript tutorials and I love how helpful it is. Oh well, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm sorry it's so late, but that's awesome that you stayed and hung out with us. Have a nice day, everyone. We'll see you guys soon. Waiting for you guys to shine on the internet. Thanks so much. We definitely appreciate the kind words. That's awesome. 3:30. Hope I'm not way over. I'm okay. I'll have to get creative. Yeah, yeah. From a platform standpoint, it is difficult for us to add new ones from Google. Uh, but I mean, the APIs are still public, so from a user perspective, it's definitely viable. They just have regulations and stuff that makes it a little bit harder on how we do stuff. Love from India. Oh, thanks so much. Wow, he's up late at night. Yeah, yeah, it is late, ain't it? Yeah, I could never do it. I go to sleep at like 9 p.m. But thanks so much for tuning in. Uh, we'll probably end it here soon. A little bit over time. 3 in the morning. He's dedicated. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That makes me feel good. People tuning in from all over the world. I think that's another reason. I forget who was asking earlier about coding and like how powerful it is. But it's awesome to think that like we can build something. We're a remote team, so we can build it somewhere in the U.S. and it gets pushed to anyone with internet access, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool and powerful. It doesn't feel late when I get awesome live sessions and viewers here. Aw, you're being too nice. Well, thank you, thank you. Well, I hope we covered some cool use cases. We got Firebase. We did the membership site. Kind of looked at. No, I guess we didn't look at Selenium. But hopefully it was useful. Hopefully, I didn't create more questions than answers. But thanks so much for tuning in. I guess we'll get off here. We appreciate you all for hanging out with us. If you want to come join us on Discord, let me get the invite link to that. And come hang out with us. But we definitely do appreciate it. I'll try to stump you on the next stream, Derek. You've been on point today. Oh, well, thank you, thank you. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah, bring me some tough questions. I'll try to read up and be prepared for them. Hopefully, people on staff will have my back just in case I can't answer them. But all right, everyone. Thanks so much. Have a good rest of your day or your night. Bye.